Will Brazil. I'm the owner and founder of WJB Hospitality. We're gonna have a great time right now. I'm really happy to show you how to make one of my favorite cocktails. It takes a lot of convincing to my clients and my guests at every event to try this cocktail, but once they do, it's refreshing, it's crisp, so fantastic. It is a cucumber jalapeno margarita. So cucumber jalapeno margarita is refreshing, it's spicy, has a tinge of spice to it. It's one of my favorite cocktails, and every event that I do, since I'm a private bartender, margaritas reign supreme. So knowing me, I like to play around with different flavor profiles. So cucumber refreshing, and then I add the jalapeno, it's fantastic. So let's get into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some cucumbers. And this is just meant for the muddling of the cocktail. And then we're going to have some fun with the garnish as well. And I'll show you how to do that as well. So we're going to do 3 or 4 small slices of cucumber. Going to add that to our shaker tins, which are these. We're going to add a little bit of agave. I like using agave. It's a thicker consistency, and you can always make that as simple by adding water to it. So when you're mixing into a cocktail, it just develops or mixes into the cocktail a little better as a simple. But we're gonna go with agave, and we're going to do about 1/2 ounce. Okay. Margaritas are meant to be a little tart and acidic with the lime juice. So I like to add the agave to the cucumbers and then go ahead and muddle it. Now, muddling does not call for stabbing or mashing, it's muddling. So you press and then turn. All your weight into it, press and turn. And what you're doing is you're incorporating the agave and the cucumber together, and then when you add the rest of the ingredients, you're able to incorporate it into the cocktail better as you are agitating with the ice, right? Then we're gonna add some ice. Now your shaker tin doesn't have to be too full. So you're, again, agitating the cocktail and cooling it down simultaneously. But we're going to load this beautiful glass with ice. So it doesn't need to be super cold, right? Then we're gonna go with your tequila. We're gonna do 2 ounces of that. I like to be, especially in private events, I like, the standard is 1.5 ounces, but I like to do 2 ounces. It uses the client's ingredients and items quickly, and it makes the guests happy because you don't want a weak cocktail. So continuing on, we're gonna add, after the tequila, we're going to do 1/2 ounce of triple sec. And then we're going to do some lime juice. Normally I love doing fresh squeezed lime juice. This is the fastest and closest alternative to it. You can find this at Fry's, you can find this at Whole Foods, you can find this at Sprouts. It's really good stuff without all the preservatives. So again, we want to do the same, a little bit less than the amount that you poured for the tequila. And I'm going to do just a pinch of salt. Ladies and gentlemen, a pinch of salt. I never was a fan of putting salt into things, but it really changes the complexity of the cocktail or any food that you're preparing or drink that you're preparing. Then we're going to shake it up, close the shaker tin, shake it up. Oh, I forgot one thing. Come on, Will. We need to add the spice. Let's do a couple slices of jalapeno. Now you want to make sure you get the seedy ones. That's where all the spice is. So we're going to do 2 of those. Dump that in there. And notice how I did not muddle it with the cucumber. It's very important that you do not muddle the jalapeno, as it gets just too intense muddling. So when you shake it and agitate it in the shaker tin, you'll be able to have all of the qualities of the jalapeno just by shaking it. Okay? We're going to shake it vigorously for about 12 seconds. All right, then you're going to load up your cocktail glass with ice. Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is called a rocks glass. Ice, another word for ice, is rocks. Every drop, last drop counts. Set that to the side. Then we're gonna go with our strainer and then our fine strainer. Now what this fine strainer does is, especially when you're working with the martini, a lot of martini purists does not like the little rocks or the small ice cubes when you're straining it. Now, the fine strainer helps prevent or catches those small cubes or rocks. What we're going to do is take one strainer and pour it into the next strainer, the fine strainer. I can already smell the cucumber and a little bit of the kick of the jalapeno. And now we're going to have some fun with garnishing the cocktail. Garnishing is, we have cucumber, we have a peeler. I found this peeler on Amazon. We're just going to do a couple strokes down this way to get what I'm looking for. See how easy this one cuts? I love this peeler. All right. There's a small sliver. Now you can play with this, right? If I had a pick, I would stab it right in the middle so it would line up just like this. And then I would place it right on top of it. So what I'm going to do is kind of put this inside the cocktail, the rocks glass. Presentation is everything, especially when you're a bartender. If any one of you want to become a bartender or is a bartender already, you know you're always on stage and the guests are looking on how much dedication and pride you take on making the cocktails. And then we're going to finish off with a single thin slice of jalapeno. Load that right on top of it. Look at the green. You see how the cocktail is taking on the green tinge of the cucumber and the jalapeno. And then we're going to do, to make it a Cadillac margarita, we're going to use some Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier has brandy and orange qualities to it. It's not too sweet, but it's great to float. And what I mean by float is we're just going to put your thumb right on top of it, and you're going to sprinkle some right on top of the cocktail. Not much. There we go. And there you have a spicy cucumber margarita. Cheers. Oh, that's fantastic. It's acidic, and I think that's why a lot of people love margaritas, because it's a melody between acidicness and sweetness, and then you get a kick of the tequila in there. And then you have the cucumber that's really crisp and refreshing. And then afterwards you have the jalapeno attached to it. So, spicy cucumber jalapeno. Cheers.
Set this aside. And then we are going to garnish it with 3 espresso beans.